Hello, everybody. It's your boy Getting Pay with another video. It's another rant video. Well, not really a rant. I guess it might be a rant, but I guess I'm just talking. Um, I might do like two more of these, talking about two other subjects. One about YouTube, and one about being an artist. But this one will be about uh, video games. And, well, video games. When I was a kid, I used to think of video games as some of the most coolest things ever. Everybody does. It's the same kind of story. But the whole thing about video games was the fact that I was playing with my brothers, my sisters, even my family, my parents. They were all gamers. They loved anime, they loved comic books, Marvel, DC, superhero stuff, Lord of the Rings. They loved it all. And we all bonded like that. Not a lot of people can say that their families all enjoy the same thing, you know? And we used to play a lot of games where you would have to work together on a lot of things. We would play a lot of story mode driven games, or when I was younger, it was like we played Gauntlet. If anybody remembers those games, it's pretty much you play as four characters, and you run around every like dungeon, defeating all these enemies, grabbing these keys, and going to the next objective. And you played as a warrior, a mage or wizard, an archer who they just called elf, and a Valkyrie. And me and I had grown up. It was the four of us: my older sister, my older brother, me, and my little brother. And we would play those games all the time. And yeah, eventually they got boring, but it was really cool. You know, we were always playing something like that. Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. There was a cheat code where you could play three characters or three players on the Xbox, so that was always cool. And I don't know if there was a fourth character you could be, but I know that someone else could actually be Gimli. You know, and a lot of games were always about cooperative uh, cooperative gameplay, and there were always a different individual type. Like, I go on YouTube. I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan. Uh, Got a Dragon Ball right here. This is the 5-star ball. Yeah, a little light shining, shining. There we go. 5-star. Um, and there was an old game I used to play called Dragon Ball Z Sagas, and I always look up like if that game ever pops up on like my feed, or like Team 4-star, or now Devil Artemis, who plays Dragon Ball Fighters. Sorry, not fighters, sagas. They always hate on it. And I'm like, oh gosh, why does everybody hate this game so much? That was one of my favorite cooperative games, playing with me and my brothers, because around that time my sister stopped playing games with us for reasons, but I won't get into that. And those cooperative games where you actually had a story to travel to and have fun along the way were the type of games I grew up on. I love playing those type of games. Games where you could challenge each other. Sometimes you can fight each other and that's it, you know? You guys would fight each other, or then you just start playing like the story mode together afterwards. There was games like that all the time. Halo 1, Halo 2, for example, Halo 3. They were all games that you play a story mode, and then you can go off. You can even play in the story mode, just killing each other or killing your friends or killing your NPCs, and then they attack you. You know, and so you don't have to like play the actual main storyline. It's, you could just goof off and do whatever, but you always did it with somebody else, and that was fun. I actually had a lot of fun with that. And and then you got to multiplayer, and it wasn't like um the story mode. There wasn't a lot of places you could go. You were just stuck in this kind of box that was actually pretty creative, and I would have loved to play some of these maps in the actual story mode. Like there's this one map in Halo Combat Evolved where you're on one side of the map and your enemies on the other, and you had to go through a portal just to get to that person. And if you look down, it's just space. You look to the side, it's just space. So you got these two giant like hallways of you looking at the other person, be like, hey, what are you doing over there? What are you doing over there? So you could try to shoot them over there, or you could shoot the person in front of you. You know what I'm saying? I miss that about games. When my friends made me a not made me they convinced me to sell my PS3, which I still have a little bit of iffiness on, because I actually do miss my PS3. There was, I don't know, it was just at a certain time in my life where I really enjoyed having a PS3. And when I got the PS4, the first game that I played was Final Fantasy 14, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into by getting that. But my friends wanted someone else that they could play with, and I got a job, and I started paying for Final Fantasy 14, and I liked it, but it just, at the time, it wasn't my thing. My friends were already ready to get on with like raids, get on with the next story beat, while I'm just trying to look at this world and be like, wow, there's a bunch of stuff to do here. Look at Ulda, look at the character creation system back in 2016. And it was a lot to take in, and I didn't have time to really enjoy it, while my friends were already skipping the dialogue, and already going through or they just were really fast readers, and they were already going through so many different if I'm on chapter 1, they're on chapter like 12 or 14. And I'm just trying to get ahead. I'm playing A Realm Reborn. They're on Heavensward, and it's just about to become Stormblood. And I'm like, oh gosh, there's just so much content here, and I'm still learning how to play the game. I was a gladiator which turns into paladin, and I didn't really have a class that I really liked at the time. It felt very not Dungeons and Dragons, World of Warcraft-ish, if that makes sense. Just more anime, more Japanese, if you want to say. Not as big and bulky. I wasn't really even into like big and bulky characters. It was just, I wanted to make a character that looked like me to some extent, and it didn't really go as well as I would have hoped. And everybody called me a basic anime main protagonist at the time. And my character, he pretty much was that. He was pretty boring. And then when I got into Stormblood, admittedly, I skipped to get to Stormblood because my friends were already jumping into it. And I was like, oh, come on, guys. I haven't even gotten to Heavensward, where you guys were talking about, like, you know, jumping in and helping me through it. But they were already trying to go to another story. One of my friends, his name is Tyler, he actually was like chilling with me. You know, he actually wanted me to play the game the way I wanted to, but he also was playing the game with our other friends and enjoying the time he had with them, and I'm not going to stop him from doing that. But as a new player, I don't want to just jump into like the raids. I don't understand any of this stuff. And it's not the fact that I wasn't a strong reader, it was the fact that I wanted to know about the world and what was going on. And at my job, I started finding out that there's a lot of people who play Final Fantasy 14, but it also was very expensive too. Having $14.99 a month can add up a lot, and I've done the budgeting of paying rent, paying for what do they call, streaming services, paying for PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass and stuff like that. You do all this stuff also for food, but you do all this stuff to like play something that you are interested in. But people will say you are a gamer who, a pro gamer is someone who gets paid for who gets paid for stop who gets paid for Cat's doing something she's not supposed to. A pro gamer is someone who gets paid to play video games competitively. A gamer is someone who actually loves playing games as a pastime, can get paid for it, but is mostly there for the culture. Then you got so and so casual players, like you would say I would be that part of the category of trying to what's the word, play a game, but do it casually, where I don't play games every single day or anything like that. There was a YouTube short of a guy talking about like him returning Elden Ring to GameStop, and he's playing the cashier saying, "Oh, sorry, I thought I was talking to someone of like good culture, but not just some weakling wannabe." He's like, "Hey, you don't know my life and everything like that." He's like, "No, rated M is for people who've got massive balls." and he was talking about like pretty much buttering him up, trying to tell him how weak he's being by giving up on the game. And the thing is, I have never truly returned a game ever. I have played Elden Ring, and admittedly, it's been out for a long time, and I still haven't beaten it. Yeah, I suck. But the thing is, a friend of mine told me to play the game. He said, just do whatever you want. Just go wherever you feel like you need to go to, and you'll find the next location. I fought one character with a cutscene, and he attacked me with like I think a dragon head and a golden hammer, and I beat him. I beat him on like my third or fourth try, and I saw that, and I continued playing the game, and I've practically made the entire map playable, and still haven't found any like other bosses that you saw in the intro of the game, the massive dung eater and all that. I actually want to fight the dung eater just because of his name specifically, and I still haven't done it. I don't play it like every day. I got off of it for a while because I couldn't find any other boss. I found smaller bosses, fought like dragons and died a bunch of times by them, fought a weird skeleton bird like 3 times in 3 different locations. I think there's 2 locations I've actually seen that one. One was attacking me in like perch, and the other one was in the water. And I actually had my friend there to help me, and he was like, "What? You still haven't beaten the game?" I'm like, "You're the one who told me to run around and try to find a location." And I still haven't. And that one scene where you get to go to that place and hug the lady. I did that several times because I just thought it was like what is it called? Just some thing you could do. But no, it actually decreases like your stats permanently. And I didn't know that. I don't know the actual thing, so don't quote me on it. It's just funny that I can't find. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Like, I look at how these people play. I'm trying to role play it, trying to be. I'm a knight with a sword and shield. I have some magic, and I can summon people, and I can summon a bunch of wolves and run around on my horse and everything. But the thing is, it's not like that. The game is for a person who is learning as they're playing. Like me, I want to learn and play it at the same time. But I'm always feeling, I got this thing in the back of my head that always makes me think that I'm not, I got to catch up. I got to catch up to everybody else who's playing the game right now. Every single person is already beating this game in 2 days or something like that, you know? And I feel like, why is it taking me so long just to get get anything that these people are already doing? It's a bit, what's the word, degrading. It makes me feel like I shouldn't be playing video games, but I still do. I continue to. I bought the collector's edition of Street Fighter 6. I haven't played it in like a month. I mean, yeah, about a month, because I've been doing a different shift for 1 month because they were doing construction on something inside my building. I work security, so I had to, for a whole month, they changed my schedule to where I was only working from 6 p.m. to midnight every single day. And it was okay. I actually really enjoyed it. I love the people who were there. I got a chance to sit down and draw and make up some stories and finish some projects that I have been trying to get together to make videos again. That's why I haven't been making any videos lately. And I just, for the love of God, just finished that part 3 of Fixing Madam Web, which I actually am having pretty fun. I'm having fun with, but that's not what we're talking about right now. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not the fact that I'm making excuses on why I can't do these things, because my little brother and me, we played a game called Ninja Gaiden Z, Yaiba is what it's called. I got it, I bought it myself on the PS3, and my little brother apparently got the game from a friend of his who was borrowing it to play on his 360. And tell me why I'm almost at the last level, and my little brother is at the last level too. And like I've been playing it for like a week, and I did that on purpose, by the way. I like to kind of savor the experience with it, and I'm not just trying to rush and beat it or anything like that. My little brother, he understood the controls, he understood the patterns, and he's already at the final battle. And he already defeated the final battle, which was Ryu Hayabusa. Whoever plays Ninja Gaiden or Dead or Alive, you would know who that character is. And even people who play Halo 3, who have the Hayabusa armor, that's who that was based off of. And it made me feel discouraged. It made me feel very discouraged because I felt like the way I did it was wrong. And it took me forever to beat him. Well, my little brother beat him in like 2 tries, if not the first try. My little brother is an out of control smarty, and I love him to death. But man, showing up your older brother is just makes probably him feel better, but makes me feel like, dang, I need to improve on my A game. Because I mean, I admire that, but it's also like, it's like someone doing your homework for you. You don't want them to do your homework because you want to learn why you can't do it. You want to learn why you are doing it at a slower rate than everybody else, or and try to understand it so you don't have to ask them again. Because if someone does your homework for you, it feels like it's unearned, and I'm unearned when it comes to playing video games, if that's the case. But I also like to have fun with it. I love competitiveness. I love a good story, lore, and a continuation to play the game the way I want to. I don't want to have to play like Call of Duty, for example. I was actually really into Call of Duty back when I was a kid. Playing World at War, me and my little brother, my older brother, my dad, even my sister, we played the story mode of World at War religiously. It was bomb. And even playing the multiplayer when it's just 4 players on the screen and it's just me and my little brother, my older brother, and my older sister just killing each other. It was fun. But that's not what we played the game for. We played the game for the story mode. And it was great. we played Ghost Recon before Wildlands and stuff, where it was like this little dot on the screen, like you needed to get one of those controllers that were like, you know, a pistol or something like that. You needed to shoot it on the screen. It was weird. But we played that game. It was quiet the entire time. And we died a lot until we finally started like communicating. And once we started communicating, the four of us, we were playing the game, and we got to a certain part where we couldn't see the enemy. And my sister, she got bored of the game and she walked away. And so it was just me and my older brother and my little brother. And the thing is, I hated this back in the day where the screen would be 4 ways, but there's just one little black screen. Just fix the screen where someone's got a lot more, you know, like face view, and the other two would just have the smaller screens. Gods. It was annoying. Some games did that and some options did that, and we didn't understand options growing up until we got older. My point is I like games that have progression, but you can have fun in that game. I like 2-player games. And for like almost, I would say 7 years now, we've only had practically 1-player games. And I know there's some people who are going to say, oh, there's been multiple games where you can play games online 4-player. You can play couch co-op maybe like 2% of the time. I don't care. I mean, Call of Duty was a game you could play 4 players on. Halo was a game you could play 4 players on. Gears of War still is a game you could play 2 players on. Actually, 4 players online. I miss couch co-op. When I was really happy when they said for the next Halo installment, Halo Infinite, that they were going to have couch co-op split screen. I was happy about that. And then they said, sorry guys, they don't have that no more. Sorry. It pissed me off. I don't mind being competitive in specific games, but I want to have the choice to do that. This isn't a real rant about why I don't like 1-player games or anything like that. But I will say this. I don't like 1-player games right now. I mean, there are some times where, yeah, you just want the full screen on you, and I've seen my eyes, I've been so used to just having the screen all to myself that I start to like, man, this is tiny. But the thing is, some games like Baldur's Gate, where it's a 2-screen thing, but the thing is, you could do widescreen like Divinity 2, where you can have 2 screens or have just the full screen with you and whoever else is playing with you. And me and my girlfriend, for the first like year we were dating, we were looking for all the free cooperative games we could play. We played a lot of Minecraft, but playing Minecraft over and over again gets kind of dull. And sometimes you want to be the hero who fights the dragon in an action RPG setting. What's the game called? X-Men Legends 2. Where you could play up to 4 players with 4 individuals playing the game. Or even if it's 2 players, you could play, oh, I'm Wolverine, you're Cyclops, I'm Jean Grey, you're Storm. And you can just switch between those 2 characters while you're like, oh no, you can switch those characters out too for even more characters. And it was so much fun because you had a cohesive story with more people to play with you. So yeah, sometimes it's chaotic where there's a bunch of characters on the screen, but I'm sure that there's a game dev out there who can see that and find ways around it. Baldur's Gate is a turn-based game, but it's got a story like Mass Effect. And I really love the Mass Effect games. I wish that it was a 2-player game in Mass Effect, because then people could shut up about male and female Shepard. I mean, hell, in Mass Effect Andromeda, it's a twin thing, and you have to wait for a while for your sister or brother to get out of there. And you know what? I actually think that would be pretty cool if it was a 2-player thing and you could play online like that. Hell, people say that, oh, if you want to play a horror game, it needs to be 1 player. But then you've got that one game, I keep forgetting what it's called, but where someone stays in the van and like the other 3 people go into a haunted house or something like that and use their microphones and recorders and stuff like that, saying Donna Wilson and stuff like that. And it scares the pants off of everybody. Oh, but it's not scary. Well, there's someone out there who has the knowledge and the imagination and the fear to make a 2-player horror game. And you can make it to where it's puzzle solving, where it has a little bit of melee combat, or even psychological storytelling. There's no end to the possibilities of making these games cooperative. Going back to my situation about like my friends and how they practically left me behind playing these games, it's not entirely their fault. I got bored of Final Fantasy. When it comes to these live service games or World of Warcraft style games, it does take a toll on you. Yes, you can play World of Warcraft for free. You can't do that with Final Fantasy. Playing with that is like dedication. I have a friend out there who plays the game religiously, and he's got books on it. He goes to Japan for Final Fantasy 14 concerts. He's a really cool dude. Heck, I wanted to play with them, but I just can't seem to find the courage to say, hey, how do I get onto this part of the link to get my character to go onto your server and us just to play? I feel like there's so much that I have to kind of fake sometimes to just stay relevant with a lot of my friends. Heck, my friends, the ones I keep talking about, I don't even talk to them as much anymore. They hang out with my big brother. They all work together at the same location, and cool. But I do miss them. But you see where I'm coming from. 1-player games. I'm sitting here alone in my game room. I know my girlfriend's asleep, so. But you see where I'm coming from is that I miss the cooperative. I miss people coming over and being able to play these games, being able to just talk and do that. I even started getting into Dungeons and Dragons in 2020. I was just bored out of my mind. I was bored out of my mind being at home all the time, and I saw Gaijin Goomba's YouTube video of Witch Ninja being about his character Greckles from the Unexpectables, and it got me into ninjas, which got me into D&D, because apparently he had a campaign of the Unexpectables that he was playing with a bunch of people from Team 4-Star. I was like, oh really? And so I I watched all of those videos up to his new season. I'm actually haven't finished it, the first campaign, because they're doing a lot. Now they're doing a lot of like side quest stuff, because it's like in most Final Fantasy games where, oh, you're at the end of the game. Okay, so make sure you do every single side quest and make sure your character is this much level so you can beat this game, because we know you really want to. So that's where I am in their YouTube channel. Heck, I got so involved with it, it practically gave me and my girlfriend something to talk about when I first met her. She plays Dungeons and Dragons religiously, and but the thing is, it's cooperative. You can play with one. It could be a one-on-one session with you and a dungeon master. It could be several people. It could be up to like 5, 6, 7, and then maybe you need another, you need another dungeon master to help you with that, because that's a lot of people. But having those games and being in the same room with somebody is always where the highlight is. When you play fighting games, Bloody Roar, Street Fighter, Tekken, Dead or Alive, these games are what made my those games of having people around are what made the game awesome. Hell, a lot of the times nowadays when you see people fighting in the tournaments, they're on the same screen fighting each other, and people are seeing it from a bigger screen. They're not playing games mostly online unless it's like a first-person shooter. But fighting games, there is lag. There is all these other things going on with it. Bad internet connections, lag, and buffering, and people's broken controllers and stuff, and there's every other excuse on why they can't continue to play. That's why playing on the same screen is so important, because playing games together, make sure that you guys are doing it, what's called, it's happening at the same time. When you're playing with someone online, you can probably get a good match in every here or there, but sometimes it's just more of a hassle. You can have friends that you made on YouTube, on the internet, on like, playing Xbox, and you meet a bunch of cool people. Yes, that's okay. But sometimes you just want to play a little bit of casual, I guess, if you want to say. I mean, I don't mind playing Call of Duty multiplayer every once in a while, but now I can't do it because I want to. I have to. Heck, right when Call of Duty took in Black Ops 4, when it took off campaign, I just said I don't want to play no more. I just gave up on the game. It's literally like someone forcing you to play a game this way and saying if you don't play it this way, don't pick up the game. Games are supposed to be fun. Oh, the importance is multiplayer because that's where the money comes in. And yet, for some reason, most games are plummeting down right now because a lot of games are a lot of so-called casual players aren't picking them up anymore. That's why Black Myth Wukong is so awesome. Is because it's a video game that doesn't really have loot boxes. It's not a live service game that you have to constantly play every single day as if it's a second job. It's just something fun that you can play. It doesn't need to be too competitive or needs to be a choose your own adventure story like most Souls games are, where you're fighting very hard, difficult bosses to challenge yourself in those ways. It's a journey. You're fighting these characters that are like these are the action adventure games that I want to play. Sometimes it's a 1-player game. Sometimes it's a 2-player game. What's it called? Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. I'm playing through the entire Lord of the Rings Return of the King story and the Two Towers before getting to the third movie with me and my little brother. And we're having so much fun playing these maps and fighting these orcs. We're fighting so many characters. I love that. We're playing together. We can find strategies. We have to click this giant catapult to stop these elephants from getting into Mary and I forget what the girl's name is, who's like, I am no man. That chick. It's so cool that we got a chance to actually do that in a creative way. Hell, playing the Two Towers part, or not, I don't even think it's the Two Towers part. I think it's the part with Gandalf and Pippin when they're fighting a bunch of characters and they're flicking their they're doing the what's it called, the ladders, and we have to kick the ladders off. That is some funny shit. That is something that's really cool. Creativity, not just shooting. I'm just shooting another player online. I'm shooting another player online. I'm shooting another player online. I'm shooting another player online in creative ways. It's redundant. I don't want to play another gun game if all I'm doing is shooting another player online. Unless it has something to do with like the story. Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I don't know if this is an online thing or anything, but at the end of the game, spoilers. At the end of the game, you fight the other like 2 or 3 characters that you don't have on your party. You have to actually kill them. Now imagine if those were online players playing the exact same story you were, but they chose to be on the bad guy side, and you have to kill them. That would be actually pretty cool, and it would change the story up a little bit more. Those games are so cool to me that I'd play them all over again. Heck, my older brother, when the Mass Effect Remastered came out with the Trilogy Edition, I saw him play that game, the first, the second, and the third game. And right when he was done playing the third game, he went back to the first one. He played it over 7 times. over 7 times, and he didn't play anything else. There's no loot boxes. There's no other players he had to play with. There was no must of it. It wasn't a must. I want to play Call of Duty story mode. Cool. Now, I have a taste for fighting characters online. I mean, players online. Okay, I can play online. All right, let's play the little 2-player mini game that you get to play in like Modern Warfare 2. Not the new Modern Warfare, but the old Modern Warfare 2, where you could play 2-player mode, and you get to see how fast that you guys could beat it, and still have fun with it. And then there's still just the 1-player online, the 1-player mode that you can play that is the story. Even if you don't have a 2-player mode for the story mode, you still can play 2-player campaign missions. Heck, what's it called? World War Z. It's pretty much Left 4 Dead third person, but it's 1 player. You have all these characters you can play with, but it's just 1 person playing it right here. 4 players online, but 1 player here. You can still do the split screen. And yes, there are other complications in why there's no split screen games, where you have to have someone who actually makes the server or understands how to implicate the function for your video game to do split screen, to do offline gameplay. It's not the fact that I don't appreciate those type of games. I do. But there are some games that look like they were supposed to be multiplayer, functional, split screen games, but you chose to say no because you think that a lot of people wouldn't like it. Why do you think there are still people who play Left 4 Dead 2 to this day? If I still had the game, I'd be playing that by myself. I don't care, because I just like it that much. I would probably get my girlfriend to play it, but she don't like scary games. And for her, zombies are scary to some extent. I love Dragon Ball Z. I'll play Budokai Tenkaichi 3 as many times as I want to with my siblings and friends. I will literally play Sparking Zero when it comes out, and I will play that game until I got every character unlocked, and I will challenge, win, and lose to all the people who are important in my life who still play those type of games. I just got off work. I been doing so much today. I woke up and practically was on the grind. And right after I was done with it, I had to drive all the way back home, put on my work shirt, kiss my girlfriend who just got home from work, and then drive all the way back to work just to get off at like 10, 11 o'clock, almost to midnight. And I made this video for you guys to let you understand why I do and don't make like videos on like games and stuff. It's not because I don't like them. Most of the time it's because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to put the recorder in the face and stuff. I mean, over here I've got two other monitors as well, but I don't know how to do all that stuff. I look up YouTube videos all the time now and to try to understand what that does, but we don't have a good running PC to play those games. And yeah, I can make the live streams on like my PlayStation 5 or my Xbox One, but all this stuff doesn't it doesn't feel right. I mean, I don't know. It's complicated. It's not really what I wanted to talk about either. I just wanted you to know what I like about games and what I don't like. And I know this is more of a rant than a what I like and what I don't like kind of video, but it is what it is. I'll be making more videos in the future talking about this type of stuff, But I just want everybody to know that hold up. If you look over there, besides all the plushies, behind all the plushies are all my video games and all my anime, Blu-rays, but all up there, those 2 rows, those are my games. I have more, but those are like my PS4 games, and I love them to death. I will eventually beat them all. I've gotten maybe, I'd say 50, maybe 63% of them all done, but well, I don't like sometimes playing by myself with a lot of them, and the friends that I have are already doing other things and don't even play those games anymore, and it's sad, you know. It's sad that I have to say that is I asked them, I did, and I just gave up asking them after a while. Hey, you guys want to play One Piece, Burning Blood? We used to play that a lot, and they don't play it anymore. But it is what it is. Life moves on, and you gotta find other creative ways to enjoy the things that you love. And to be perfectly honest, I'm making 2 video games myself, but I am focusing on one. Stay tuned for that. Please stay tuned for that. I will make a video about that soon too. But yeah, I'm making 2 video games. I got 2 ideas already up in the running, and one I've talked about a little bit, and that's my baby's, my passion project. But the other one is one that is a fighting game, and I want to use that as a base to learn how to do gaming and coding and producing and scripting and all that stuff for the first time, because it's gonna be bad. I've never done this before. I've been learning the skills to learn 3D sculpting and understanding scripting and understanding all this stuff. So please stay tuned, because we have a lot to talk about. Okay, good night.